Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. This is your November to December energetic monthly forecast for all of my air signs out there. So that is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So if your sun, moon, or rising signs fall into Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, then this is the video for you. So this month we check out the energy surrounding your health, relationships, finances, challenges, and blessings. So this month I switched it up and decided to do things a little different, where I combined all of the signs to their element. So every single sign will still get its own individualized energetic forecast. If you just want to go on ahead and just jump straight into your own signs, monthly energetic forecast breakdown, then the timestamps are left down below in the description and the comments box. But I just ended up pairing all of the air signs, earth signs, water signs, and fire signs together. So I have a few things to address before getting started. So like I said, if you want to head straight to your reading, I've left the timestamps down below in the description and the comment section. Okay, so let me just mention, there is a skull in the video, you guys. There is a skull in the video. And I just wanted to mention this because I know some of you are probably like, yeah, okay, whatever. But a select few of you did tell me some time ago that you're not fond of skulls for whatever reason, and that's why I stopped using them in my readings some time ago. But I do love them. I think that they are beautiful, and especially this one because it has the zodiac wheel carved on top of it with the constellations, and I love it so much. As you guys can see, well, you probably can't see, but as you guys can see, there's like a all these zodiac signs. I think that this type of stuff is cute. That's just me though. And I love it. So I'm going to be using it this month, and probably I'll probably be using it on my channel as well. Maybe not in every video, but definitely in the videos to come, because this is just me. This is what I'm into. This is what I like. And I want to be as authentic with you guys. I don't really want to be using things in my videos just to try to get more views or just to try to make certain people comfortable. If this is just what I like, it's what I like. And so, you know, I understand if it's not your thing, but just putting that out there. So, but another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is when I do these readings, and majority of you already understand this, but some people come to these tarot readings really expecting answers. And I just wanted to clearly say that I never proclaim to have the answers, okay? And that's why I have a disclaimer before every video of mine, that you have to utilize your own intuition in these readings, in my readings anyways, to receive the clarity it is that you are looking for. I don't profess to call myself a healer, a shaman, a witch, Reiki master, whatever, a spiritualist, a guru. I don't proclaim to call myself anything like that because I'm still learning, healing, growing, and evolving just like the rest of you. And learning and healing never stops. It is a lifestyle. So I don't have the answers to your life. Only you do. Just like I don't go consulting others for answers to my life, because I know that when the time is right, the clarity will reveal itself to me. I read the language of energy with my readings and not concrete answers, because these are general readings, one, and everyone's life is so completely different. Unless I intuitively receive a very detailed message during a reading, which I do sometimes, and I will mention it, but usually I really try to stay away from details because everybody comes from a different walk of life. That's just the wide spectrum of differences that we're dealing with when we talk about the collective. Not everybody is having the same life incarnation and the same life experiences, and I definitely take that into consideration when I'm doing these readings. So I try to accommodate everyone. So for those of you looking for concrete answers about, you know, when is this going to happen, how is this going to happen, who's this person I'm going to fall in love with, I want their social security number and their address, it's like I don't have these details, you guys. And you know, the universe, this is not me coming up with these answers. The universe reveals certain things when it wants to. Everything works on divine timing. I am not God. And another thing as well that I want to mention is I don't want you guys to come to me or anyone else for healing. Know that you can heal yourself. Know that you have the answers. Start relying first and foremost on you. Do not give that power to me or anybody else. And if someone is taking that power from you by telling you that you need them for magic or healing or understanding or this or that, just know that that's a lie, okay? And you have the power to change your own life. I am not going to do that for you because I literally cannot. Nobody can. One Reiki session, one meditation session, going to church on Sundays, lighting a candle, reciting a mantra is not going to change your life. If you want to change your life, you have to be committed, because this is a lifestyle. It's not a session. This is everyday work that the universe needs to see you put in for the universe to reinvest into you. And you know, that's why I take these breaks sometimes too as well, where I wish I could upload every single day for you guys. I would if I could. But you know, there are times where I'm just called to just stop and to plug in, to do my research, to study, to just not do anything sometimes. And these are the times where I'm receiving downloads of information. These are the times where I'm receiving more and more clarity on my own perspective and my own spiritual journey. That just plays into the fact that, like I was just saying, I'm still healing, growing, learning, and evolving just like you guys. So I never want you guys to rely on me or anyone else. I want you to be able to rely on yourself. We can all support each other through this, but depending on each other is it can be a very dangerous thing. So I will not do the work for you. No one is, and no one should, because we all have our own journey that we are dedicated to, that we need our own energy and strength to get through. So let's help and support each other on this journey, but please do not set yourself up or people up on an impossible task to fix or heal you, because you'll just keep going back to that person every time there's an issue or every time there's a this or that. Don't give your power away like that. Remember who you are. So I love these readings where we are reading energy, divining energy, and applying it to our life, our own specific individual life, because we are learning how to walk on our own path with our own 2 feet. And that's always my goal here on my channel. Some of you won't like to hear that, but literally, like, every single one of you on my channel that have subscribed to my channel, my soul family, you guys I already know you guys, like, you guys love putting in that hard work and labor when it comes to working on you. And I love you guys for that. You are a strong force to be reckoned with. I love a warrior. We all have it in us, but from my warrior to yours, thank you. I appreciate you. And, keep conquering life, because it's amazing. I love seeing you guys work and the progress it is that you guys make in your life. And you guys are not making progress. You guys are not getting healed. You guys are not making things happen because of me. Okay, just know that it's not because of me or any other healer in this world or any other pastor or a church or a religion. It's not because of that. It's because of you. You're deciding to put your work into this. We're co-creators. Even the Most High, even Spirit itself cannot help us if we do not want to help ourselves. Okay, so obviously I can't help you. No one else can. This is all up to you. And if you are healing, if your life is getting better, pat yourself on the back. So before we get started, let me just say that this is a general reading. And in order for this reading to resonate with you specifically, you have to be intuitively synced into the energy of this reading. To help you all do that, I'll be providing a 30-second meditation. So if you'd like to participate, bring your awareness to your body, starting with your feet and then working your way up in sections. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 3 seconds. Then exhale out of your mouth for 6 to 7 seconds, gently drawing your navel in towards your spine as you exhale. After breathing like that a few times, we'll start that meditation right now. All right, hopefully that was enough time to get your psychic voice activated. Don't forget to check out your moon, rising, and Venus sign videos if you have not already. I want to take this time to thank your beautiful guides, my beautiful guides, our higher self, and the Most High for these messages. And don't forget, you guys, to head down to the timestamps so you're not sitting through the entirety of this video, because like I said, your own sign has its own individualized reading for this month. So check out the timestamps, okay? Now, without further ado, let's go on ahead and get to your Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. So we'll be starting off with the tarot cards, and this card all the way over here to the left is representative of your health. So the energy surrounding your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual health for the month of November. And that's the card that we'll be starting with before reading the rest of your cards and then moving on to the oracle cards. So let's go on ahead and start with this one. And we have here the 7 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so for my Aquarians, I'm seeing you really take your health seriously, or a lot more serious, in the month of November. I see many of you getting tired of dealing with the same health issues, or just feeling like nothing is changing or improving. There's some major changes to your health that you are trying to make, but I see many of you not avoiding it or not trying to cheat your way through it anymore. So like, if you've ever been on a diet before, you may have had cheat days or certain times where you broke your diet, and that's not happening this month for my Aquarians. You guys are getting strict, serious, and more honest about your health. I see see many of you being more honest about what's going on health-wise, whether this is physical, mental, or emotional health. I'm seeing you get more honest about how you are feeling and getting down to the root of whatever may be the culprit behind this health issue or this health scare. You may just want to improve your health or maybe lose weight or practice better eating habits or working out more, but I'm seeing you guys ready to make some really big sacrifices when it comes to preserving your health. There's also this realization as well as to how your health has affected you mentally and emotionally, or you are realizing how your mental and emotional state has affected your physical health. And I just see you like so over this. It's just like you're almost saying like, I'm so done with dealing with this. I'm just so over this. You're ready to make whatever changes and sacrifices necessary to end this once and for all. Okay, so moving on to this card here, this will be showing me the energy surrounding your love life and the relationships in your life, whether this be platonic, with your relatives, or even romantic with someone in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. And we have here the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So you're not observing anymore. That's the first thing that I'm getting from this card. You are being a lot more proactive, Aquarius. This is action. This is an action-oriented month for my Aquarians. What I'm seeing so far is you guys taking control, at least over the health and relationship sectors of your life. But this Knight of Pentacles, he's very observant. He peeps everything. And those are the people that know the most, the ones that aren't the loudest, but the ones that sit back and watch, because you are seeing so much when you choose to not be a part of the conversation or a part of the situation. You may have spent the last few months or so in this state of almost like a third person point of view, where instead of being a part of everything, you were almost having an out of body experience, just observing instead. You were detached from it. It's like you were present, but you just chose to stay out of it, because I think many of you were trying to get a deeper understanding of what's been going on or happening in your life. But instead of being the loudest one, or instead of being involved, you've been more reserved, especially within your relationships is what I'm seeing here. So you've removed yourself, and that's helped you to see so much of the truth of what's really been happening. I think before this was kind of getting past you undetected in a sense, but you recently came to realize something about your relationships and the people around you, maybe even yourself. And now that you see the truth, now that you are aware of the things that were hidden before, now you're making changes. Now you are in a place where you are ready to actively make changes and to speak up and to say, we're not doing things like this anymore, or I'm not doing things like this anymore. Some changes have to be made, which is a good thing. I'm saying it's like you took your time for your bearings to come together, for you to get your bearings straight. And it's like you've pieced the puzzle together to make one cohesive picture. And now you're ready to take that truth and make the changes necessary in your life, because now you can see it. And that's what I'm getting here. It's like when you're observant, when you're just sitting back, when you're not a part of anything, you're able to see so much more. Like there could be a fight going on between two people, but the person that's just sitting back and isn't really entertained by any of the happenings going on in that fight, they're able to hear both sides of the argument. They're able to see both perspectives. They're able to see everything it is that's going on. They're able to see the root of the problem. They're able, you know how it's like when you're dealing with the third person point of view, or when you're outside looking in, you can see everything so clearly than the people inside of that tunnel, the people inside of that situation, they can't see it as clearly. But when you're on the outside looking in, you can see everything it is that you need to see. You can see truths, you can see brutal truths, hard truths, you can see all sorts of truths. You can see all different perspectives, and that's where you're at. You literally stepped outside of your life to look in at it. That's what I see you doing, Aquarius. That's what I saw you doing. In the past few months or so, I just saw you kind of removing yourself and stepping back, that the way you could kind of be on the outside looking in on your own life. So it's like you almost detached in a sense. And it's like, well, now I see what the issue is. And now I need to change this. Now I need to change that. Now I need to make these sorts of changes to cope with or to deal with whatever has been happening, to fix whatever has been happening, to change what it is that I want to change. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to this card here. This is going to be showing me the energy surrounding your finances, your career, school life, professional life, things like that. So let's take a look. And we have here, look at this, beautiful, the Six of Wands. You're going to feel so good this month, Aquarius, because like I said, you're being a lot more proactive in the sense that you're making changes to things that you realized were holding you back. or keeping you from feeling happy. Maybe these things were just keeping you from feeling happy. But now that you've started to make these changes, it's like you are just happy and content with the fact that things are getting somewhere. Changes are being made. At least we're progressing. It's like you might not have it all yet. Let me just say that. Let me clear that up. You might not have it all yet, but you've arrived and you are setting yourself and your life up in a way where you can bring in change. But now you are starting to see it. You're starting to see the number on the scale reflect what you want. You're starting to feel like you have more energy. You're starting to notice change in your emotional health ever since making your needs and boundaries known to the people around you. It's like now that you've made these changes, you're starting to see the results. You're starting to see the outcome of these changes. They're starting to make themselves known to you. So you know what it's like you don't have everything you want yet, but you are feeling damn close to it. You're feeling like the Six of Wands, victorious, because you are making these changes and you know it's only a matter of time before you are exactly where you want to be, because now you see what needs to be done. And since making these changes, you're starting to see results. Even the small results are bringing you so much joy and happiness because you can feel yourself just getting closer and closer to your goals every single day. And that's what's actually kind of motivating you and pushing you to keep going. You know how somebody, like, maybe they want to get healthier, maybe they want to lose weight or something like that. Maybe they want to shed a few pounds, so they change up their diet, they start exercising a lot more. And then, you know, when they step up on the scale, they say, oh wow, I've lost 2 pounds. Okay, it might not be the 20 or the 30 pounds that you wanted to lose, but you're getting somewhere, you know? And it's like, so that keeps you kind of motivated. It keeps you inspired in a sense, where it's like you are committed to your goal. You're committed to your vision and what it is that you want. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing these things start to come in and show proof that your changes are actually working and you're heading in the right direction now. And that's what I'm seeing here for your month. So this is amazing. So as far as like work goes, yeah, there could be like more money that you start to see, more success, more recognition, because that's what this card rules: success, recognition, victory, triumph. So, you know, you're going to see something in a way that reflects to you the changes that you want, that you've been making, and the vision it is that you have in your mind. So you're going to start to see evidence of that. You may start to see more money, more clientele. You may start to see more recognition. Like I was saying, more success in some way, shape, or form is going to come to you. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm going to keep this train going. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this card here. This is going to be showing me the challenging energy that may be, that you may be faced with during this month of November in the Scorpio season. And so we have here the King of Swords, boundaries. Okay, so that's what I heard with this King of Swords card. So it's going to be difficult for some of you to have those conversations and to make those boundaries, to say no to people that you would have otherwise helped. You know what the challenge here is actually? The challenge here actually is you putting yourself first. That's what's actually going on here. It's so difficult for my Aquarians because you guys rule the 11th house, and that's the place that's known as the house of friends. You, in a general sense, you're always thinking about the collective, about your friends, about your family, about your loved one. About your loved ones. It's hardly ever about you. At least you don't make it about you. And it's going to be challenging for some of you to step into a space or this energy of now I'm in charge and now I'm calling the shots because I have the answers. Knight of Pentacles. Now I have the answers. Now I see what it is that I need to see. I've been watching, I've been observing everything, and I know what to do. It's going to be hard for some of you to insert yourself like that, to where you are telling others, to basically shut up. It's like, you know, just stop, because you got us nowhere. Look at where we're at because of you, or because of your decisions, or because of what your actions, whatever they were. And it's not that you're like blaming anyone else, but you're just making it known that you have to come in and do what couldn't be done. You had to outsmart the situation or the circumstances. You had to find a way out of the situation that maybe someone else or maybe even yourself may be responsible for. But it's like no one else is on your level, in the sense that everyone else is blind to what it is that you can actually see. No one else can see it. And so you're like, just get out of the way. You know, I see the issue and I've got a plan. I see a way out. So let me take it from here. That's going to be challenging for you to veto another person's advice, opinions, and standpoint. But you know that in order to make things better, it's important to follow your intuition, your instincts, and your heart, and to follow your truth. to follow your vision, to follow what it is that you see, because you see it so clearly now. Okay, so if you have to be bad cop to get the job done, then you have to put your foot down. You have to set boundaries, and you have to put yourself first. And this is what it's going to take, is you really putting yourself first and saying, no, listen, like, thank you for your input, but no, you're going to have to move out of the way. Let me go on ahead and take care of this. Okay, so let's go on ahead and check out this card here. This is going to be showing me the blessing or the fortunate energy for your month of November, the Scorpio season. And we have here the Four of Pentacles in reverse. It's interesting because when you look at this Four of Pentacles, it's like, yeah, you see this man holding on to these Four Pentacles, but I'm actually seeing this as these Four Pentacles are holding him. They're like trapping him. Let me just hold this card up. I don't know why I'm seeing it like this right now, but it's like he thinks he's holding them. He thinks that he's standing on them, holding them, got them resting on his head. Like he thinks he's in complete control. But he's not. They're actually trapping him. He thinks he's in control. He thinks he's the one that decides if and when he lets these pentacles go. But in reality, it's the other way around. And he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even see it. Yeah, there was definitely something happening that was undetected, and you've sniffed it out now, Aquarius. Either you have, or you are about to realize or see the truth for what it is, because you couldn't see it before. What looks like one situation from one perspective looks entirely different now. You've had your hanged man moment recently, and the blessing here is you can see the truth for what it is, or you can see another version of the truth. You can see a different perspective. Your awareness has expanded. You can see the issue. You can see the devil, basically. And when I say that, like the devil is someone that never reveals himself to be the devil. If he did, he wouldn't be the devil. He wouldn't be Satan. He never appears as what he truly is, because we more than likely would be repulsed by him if we read the fine print or saw him for what he is. So the devil plays tricks. He has to be cunning instead, so that the way we get tempted, because once he tempts us and we fall for it, it's like a rabbit hole that we fall down, and it's really hard to come out of that. If instead of having that piece of chocolate cake on a plate, it was diabetes on the plate, would you eat it? Instead of that attractive person showing you attention, it was heartbreak or pain, would you give them the time of day? No, you really wouldn't. You'd probably be repulsed by the truth of that thing. You can see now, Aquarius. You can see so clearly, and you can see the devil. You can see that person. You can see that agreement. You see the word yes or the word no for what it truly is. And you're done getting tricked or played by it. You're taking action this month, Aquarius, and I'm so in love with this energy, because it's like, you know what? I'm done getting played. I'm done with this. I'm completely done with being the last person to show up to the party and everyone else knows what's going on besides me. I'm sick of it. It's time for me to start winning. It's time for me to like get this together and figure out what the hell is going on. And you've done that now. You've pinpointed it and said, nope, that's the real issue. That's not a piece of chocolate cake. That's actually diabetes, or that's not a good person. That is going to end up bad in the future. You're starting to see so much more. It's like your third eye has been awakened. That's what I'm seeing here. Your third eye came open. For many of you, your third eye came open. And if you were already spiritual, if your third eye was already opened, then it's like you've just raised this level of awareness. You just raised your level of mindfulness. And now you can see even more. And sometimes this can be heavy. Sometimes it can be heavy to see the truth and to know the truth. Sometimes that can be a very heavy thing to deal with. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards, because your oracle cards are a message from your guides, and that's what I set the intention for them as I shuffled these oracle cards. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so the very first card that we have here is the Dragon, Strength and Wisdom, Reclaim, Shadow, Divine Guidance, Whispers from the beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. Success, success that's true belongs to me, success with honor, integrity. Okay, so starting off with Reclaim, I see this as reclaiming your life, reclaiming your power, reclaiming the truth, reclaiming your shadow, reclaiming strength and wisdom, reclaiming success. Both of these cards are dealing with success and reclaiming divine guidance. You're reclaiming these things that were lost in the dark. They were lost in the shadow for a while. You couldn't see it, or you couldn't see, but you were guided by the divine on your way out of the confusion, on your way out of this place where you couldn't see very clearly. And success, moving on to this card here, I told you guys with the Six of Wands, you're going to be feeling pretty accomplished. You're going to be feeling like you are on your way to success. You're going to be feeling back on track and like nothing and no one can get you down because you know where you're going. And you know where you're going because you can finally see the truth, or you can see the truth again. Moving on to divine guidance here. This is telling me that your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, your angels, the divine, the universe has really stepped in and revealed some truths to you. Yeah, you figured them out, but you had help. Okay? Yes, you figured them out yourself, but you had help. Don't get that twisted. You had your angels, your ancestors, your guides, your higher self, all kind of feeding you this information of this is the truth. This is what is really happening. And I think that your eyes opened, your third eye opened at the right time, but you definitely had divine guidance because it says here, let their messages be clear and kind. These were messages that came through from another source. These messages almost snitched on the situation or that person or that issue that was in your life and that was causing confusion. And now your eyes are wide open, which will lead you to success because you've reclaimed yourself, you've reclaimed your life, you've reclaimed what belongs to you. This is beautiful. I'm loving this, Aquarius. So this is all that I'm seeing for you guys for this month of November and for the Scorpio season. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. Again, I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself for delivering such a beautiful, powerful message today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, keep conquering the world. And I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys. All right, Gemini, welcome to your reading. So we'll be starting off with the tarot cards, and this card all the way over here to the left will be showing me the energy surrounding your health and whether that is mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual health. This will be showing me the energy surrounding that for the month of November for the Scorpio season. And once we are done with the tarot cards, I will move on to the oracle cards. So let's go on ahead and start. And we have here the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a turn of events in terms of your health, Gemini, whether that be mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual health. There's a turn of events where things improve or mellow out at the least. This may have been a shaky, sort of turbulent issue for many of you in the last few months, maybe even a year or two, but it looks like it's going to start coming around for the better. But that's the thing about this card. You can never be sure what's good for you and what isn't when you see the Wheel of Fortune. Well, actually, let me reword that because it's not about what's good for you and what isn't. It's actually the Wheel of Fortune. Even if you pull the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this is still something that is good for you. This is still something that is working for your highest and greatest good. And that's the thing about this card is like whatever happens, whether we label it as good or bad, it's still working out for us. We just might not like the circumstances with whatever cards it is that we get dealt, because with this Wheel of Fortune card, it's all about kind of like Jesus take the wheel, don't exactly know what's going to happen. So this may have been kind of shaky or turbulent for you in the last few months or a year or two, but it does look like it's going to start coming around for the better to me. And, many people will chalk this card up to good luck because of the word fortune down here, but it's more so like I can't really pinpoint what's happening. Like I was saying, Jesus take the wheel. This seems bad or good, but it ends up all working out either way, or it ended up going like this. So this card comes to remind you, or to say, to stay on top of your health, to stay vigilant for this month of November. For those of you that were struggling with either your mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual health, like I said, I see that turning around for the better. But this card feels like be aware of how you are treating your body. Be aware of how you are taking care of your own health. This card to me feels like stay mindful of your actions because this wheel is kind of spinning. We're not in control of this wheel. There's a force much greater than us that is at the center of this wheel, powering it. And her name is Lady Fortuna. Okay? She's in control of spinning that wheel. So what seems bad may have actually come in to protect us, help us, or even save us. And what seems good could actually be toxic or even bad for us. So really stay on top of your health as much as possible. So as this wheel turns, no matter what happens, you are still doing your part, because this card, this energy is coming to catch your attention. You don't want to put something off or neglect yourself for so long that it spins or turns into something more. Okay, let's go on ahead and move on to this card here. This is going to be showing me the energy surrounding your love life and your relationships for this month of November and for the Scorpio season. And we have here the Three of Swords in reverse. So there's some healing, forgiveness, compassion, empathy, relatability, love is coming back into a situation between you and another person, or into your relationships in general. The pain of the past and of disappointment is being lifted from your being. This is an amazing opportunity to capitalize on, and it makes so much sense because we are presently in Scorpio season. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, who is the god of death and transformation. Forgiveness is the death of pain, of hurt, of anger, of betrayal, of disappointment. Hate is a transformed or morphed or twisted version of love that sets in when someone's been violated or hurt. From their perspective. So this Scorpio season, I believe, is helping you to kill these heavy emotions that may have formed into grudges, anger, or hatred. This November, you are finding your way back to moving on with your life in a way where you are not trapped or held hostage by your pain anymore. Now you are living a free life again by the end of this month. That's what I'm seeing here. And this is amazing. I'm really seeing your relationships improve. I'm seeing you able to be more emotionally available and aware as well, because your heart isn't being occupied by these heavy, dense, or damaged energies. This is liberation, like freedom, basically, for my Geminis. All right, so let's go on ahead and move on to this card here. So it'll be showing me the energy surrounding your finances, your career, your professional life, your school life for this month of November and Scorpio season. And we have the King of Pentacles. Okay, so planning. You're starting to make plans, or you're going to find yourself heavily concerned with, how do I get here? How do I make that happen? You're going to be focused on getting to your King of Pentacles status, where you are independent and self-sufficient. You don't just want to be well off, abundant, and successful. You have stipulations about the type of success and abundance you want, Gemini. There's something here about being independent that I'm picking up. You want your own success. You want your own abundance. You want something that no one or nothing else can take from you. So you are making plans on your own. You're only factoring in yourself, your needs and wants, because you want something that doesn't belong to anyone else. You want this pentacle. You want this abundance, this triumph. You only want your name on it because you don't want to risk losing a place on your throne ever again. If you have before, if you've ever lost your place on this throne before, that's something you're really seriously factoring in, is how can I make this sustainable? How can I make this real? How can I extend the shelf life of this thing so I can eat off of it forever? How can I stay situated on this throne where nothing and no one else can remove me from it? I don't want a limit on my abundance, on my success, and on what is mine. I want it all. And you're trying to figure out how you can sustain this, how you can get it to a certain level and then keep it there. That's your main concern professionally, financially, or career-wise right now, is how do I get here and how do I stay here? Because I don't plan on leaving. I don't want to leave. I want my own place in the world that belongs to me. This is such an independent energy that I'm picking up on here. It's very independent. It's very self-focused, but not in a bad way. It's just where it's like, I want this to belong to me because I don't want to risk losing it. I don't want to risk having to part from it. I don't want to risk having to give it away or having someone trying to take it from me. I don't want to risk the wheel turning and this, going from a great thing to something that I don't necessarily like. I see you really trying to stay in control, stay kind of ahead of the game with this, so that the way whatever it is that you don't want, whatever it is you're trying to avoid, you can't avoid it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on here to check out what the challenging energy that you may encounter for this month of November. And we have the Six of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so this is a ghost, the Six of Cups, and not in a literal sense, but in a figurative sense. You're haunted by the past, like I said before, with this King of Pentacles here. Some of you may have been displaced from your throne or fallen from it, and you don't want that to happen ever again. This feels a little scary, a little fearful, the Six of Cups. Maybe a few doubts that you're currently fighting off because of what's happened in the past. It's almost like it's difficult to move forward in the present into the future because the past is holding you back here a little. But remember, we have the Three of Swords in reverse over here. we have this card in reverse here. So that means that there's healing happening here this month, Gemini. You're going to be healed of your past, of this fear. This fear came from what happened before, and you got used to living and having to fight through that fear. Or maybe that fear spread anxieties, insecurities, and doubts to you, because fear isn't just contagious. It's like a snowball. It keeps spinning and developing. Like the Wheel of Fortune, it keeps spinning and developing into something else. Yeah, this didn't feel super upbeat to me, this Wheel of Fortune. I know it means the wheel is turning for the better, but like I said earlier, you're going to have to really be on top of what actions and decisions you make. You're going to have to stay aware of how you are feeling mentally and emotionally, or at least you feel like. This also could be for some of you, you're really anxious about feeling in control of everything. You don't like this wheel spinning. That's really what I'm kind of picking up now that I'm channeling more and more into this message. You don't like the wheel spinning. You don't like Jesus take the wheel, let's just see what you hate that. You don't want that at all, especially not for this month of November. You're starting to come around and realize, you know what, I don't want to take chances anymore. I don't want to take risks. I want to be in control. I want to know what's happening. I want to be able to almost predict, in a sense, what's happening. So it's like you've developed this greater awareness, but the issue with this awareness is like that awareness also includes disappointments and things and fears and ghosts from your past. And that's the thing about awareness. When you expand it, you can't really control what it is that you see. You can't really control the light. The light, when it touches something, you can't really control what the light hits. You can't really control what is revealed to you, you know? So it's like now that your awareness has expanded, it's also picking up on things from the past. And that's where a little bit of these fears and insecurities and doubts may be starting to settle in, because it's like, okay, well, I made this decision once before. Let me not put myself back in that same position. Let me not put myself back in that same predicament. And so you're trying to really control the wheel. You don't want this wheel to just be spinning and you have no say so on where it lands. You don't want that anymore. You want to be able to sit on your throne and not spinning, but you want to be able to sit still, planted, grounded, rooted on your throne, just like this King of Pentacles. He's literally been grounded onto his throne, so much to the point that the vines and the plants and the flowers and roots and everything, they are growing over him. They're growing on top of him. They're growing around his throne, around his clothes, around his crown. It's growing everywhere. It's to show abundance, but it's also to show as well that he is grounded. He is rooted in his position here. That's what you want. You don't want this wheel spinning where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. You want to be grounded. So this may be you really trying to capture control over your life and over a situation, because you know from a practical standpoint that what happened in the past probably won't happen again. But it's that one little thought, it's that whisper, like a ghost, that's like, but what if? And that little voice, that little whisper, that little what if question just spins like this Wheel of Fortune. It starts spinning into something bigger, like fear, doubts, insecurities, being stagnant. Like I was saying, fear it's contagious, but it also develops like a snowball. So, you know, these little fears, this little question of what if has expanded into something bigger. It's turned into something bigger, like fears, doubts, insecurities, being stagnant, unable to make a decision, unable to make a move because you're afraid. It develops. So take that fear and spin it into motivation, because you have momentum right here. This card is also saying you have momentum. So take it and spin it. I know this is representing your health, but this is also energy that you're working with in one sector of your life. So take that momentum and spin it into something else. Spin it into motivation and determination to not let this happen ever again, to not let your past happen ever again, to do everything in your power to see this thing through and to bring in your success, to retake your place on that throne. Don't run off the past. Don't run off fear or doubt. Run off of excitement, inspiration, and passion. Okay? Run off of you being grounded. Run off of you being rooted. Run off of that vision that you have for your future. All right. So let's go on ahead and check out this card here. This will be showing me the blessing or the fortunate energy surrounding you for this month of November in the Scorpio season. And we have here the World. Beautiful. So this is interesting because the World card reminds me so much of the Wheel of Fortune, and they're both present here. So many of you may be and probably will be traveling because it is November. This is the holidays, and this card, the World, in a generalized sense, speaks of travel. But from an intuitive standpoint, I'm feeling this World card here as confirmation. Lady Fortuna that I was telling you guys about from this Wheel of Fortune card, she's in the middle of this wheel spinning it. Right? Lady Fortuna is in the middle of this wheel, spinning that wheel. But you can't see her in the Wheel of Fortune. But guess where you can see her? You can see her in this World card here. So she's surrounded by the same beings as she was in the Wheel of Fortune card. She's surrounded by a man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion, representing the 4 fixed zodiac signs, which is Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo. And this card is representing your blessings for the month. This World card here is in the position of your blessings for the month. So Lady Fortuna, as you can see, there's a lady in the middle of this world, of this universe, of this spinning wheel that never stops. There's a lady in the center of it. So Lady Fortuna wanted to come in and make herself known to you that everything is working out beautifully. It may not seem like it, but the blessing here is you don't have to worry at all. You can release these fears and pain. The 3 of Swords, you can release that. You can release anything that holds you back. You can release that to focus your life and attention on the things that feed you and not drain you. Feed your fears to the fire and feed your hope to your future, to yourself. Okay. So let's go on ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here to see what else it is that we're seeing. So the oracle cards for this month of November, I set the intention that these would be, messages from your guides for this month of November and for the Scorpio season. So let's see what your guides have to say. And the very first card that we have here is water. Emotions are at their peak. Love, the creator. Imagination now sets me free. Divine ones, I send my thanks to thee, sets me free. Interesting. True love come to me. True love shall come to me, as I do will, so mote it be. Okay, so true love come to me and love. So your guides are one, saying how much they love you, but also how much it is that you deserve love. They know that you've been hurt. They know that you've put yourself out there before. You've put your heart and your love out there before, and you got hurt. You got burned. These 3 swords, it's in reverse now. But before, it's in reverse now because it was at one point in time upright. And so now that this card is in reverse, the pain is falling away, the disappointments, the hurt, the betrayal, whatever it was that happened in your past, the past is falling away. So what I'm seeing here with this true love come to me and love is your guides. They're saying that this 3 of Swords in reverse is clearing out the past. Clearing out the past here so you can trust again, so you can forgive, so you can move on and claim your throne. Your throne may not be money and success and a career. Maybe your throne, or maybe it is, but your throne can also be representative of love. It may be a new relationship. It may be feeling good about yourself again. It may be trust. It may be peace or balance. But I see that whatever this throne is coming back to you tenfold. You're not reclaiming your place on your throne, but you're actually building a new one from scratch. One where the past isn't this ghost that's following you around, poisoning or tainting your chance at happiness and at a future. And moving on to water here, emotions are at their peak. Yeah, like I was telling you guys, emotions are at their peak. The 6 of Cups down here is like a ghost. It feels like such a weight that you're carrying around, but it's invisible. It's like an invisible weight. It's like this 10 of Wands energy, but without the wands. But this past is so heavy. It weighs so heavy on you. Feed that shit to the fire. Release it so you can move on. Many of you are in the process of releasing and purging these things right now, having heavy conversations or confronting heavy memories, encountering the past and dealing with your fears while we are in Scorpio season, the season of death and transformations. So your fears are transforming into love, into creation, into imagination, which I see as inspiration yet again. So all of this heaviness is being transformed in the flames of death through forgiveness and healing. You are transforming this heaviness into light energy that you can work with, that will carry you to your throne. The creator right here. What did I say to you guys? You are literally creating or making your own throne from scratch. You're not interested in anything that came before you. You're looking forward to the horizon, to newness, to fresh energy. You're not looking at your past. You're not interested in anything that's been touched by your past. Even if you have to rebuild, even if you have to build something from scratch, you'd rather do that than deal with anything that has the stench or heaviness or residue of the past drenched all over it. You want more and better for yourself, and you deserve that. Even Lady Fortuna is here saying that she agrees with you. You deserve love. Love, true love, come to me. You deserve to create this new, fresh experience, this new, fresh space where it has not been poisoned or tainted from your past and from any fears, from any ghosts of the past, which is amazing, Gemini. This is a beautiful, beautiful month for my Geminis. It's going to be heavy, but it's heavy for all of us. But this is a really beautiful month. What is happening here, the way that you are really digesting everything and just coming into feeling lighter, feeling more aware, feeling better, feeling more true to yourself. You know, this is a beautiful month for you guys. And this is exactly why you're able to create this new thing. This is why you're able to bring love in, to attract in the things it is that you want and need, because you are releasing. You're releasing. And that's beautiful. And because of that, your wheel is turning, and Lady Fortuna is here turning that wheel for you, which is beautiful. She came through to say, no, I'm right here. It's going exactly how it needs to go. That's beautiful. I love the fact that she came through like that. So this is all that I'm seeing for my Geminis. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out your moon, rising, and Venus sign videos if you have not already. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self and spirit itself, for delivering such a beautiful message today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys. All right, Libra, welcome to your reading. So we'll be starting off with the tarot cards, and this card all the way over here to the left is representative of the energy surrounding your health for the month of November to December. This Scorpio season, getting into Sagittarius season, and this is dealing with your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Okay, so let's take a look. The King of Cups. All right, so with this King of Cups here, I see you being very in tune to your health this month, Libra. It's like you won't just be practically taking care of your body, but you're going to listen to it as well. You're going to apply your intuition when it comes to dealing with your health, whether this be mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual health. You're going to have an intuitive ear almost for what's going on, whether it's kind of hidden or subtle. You're going to have this very strong intuition when it comes to your own being. You're going to know what needs attention, what needs support, what to work on, what to cut out of your schedule or out of your diet or out of, your lifestyle. So if you get a random thought or feeling this month like, I should drink more water or eat less sugar or exercise a bit more or research this or that, listen to those sensations. I feel like for most of you, it'll feel a little random, like you don't know why you're getting these ideas. You may even see or notice a lot of signs around you. So you may see, for example, more commercials and ads about a certain diet or something that's going to seem like a coincidence, but it isn't. These are little messages and signs coming through to you from the universe and spirit to look into these things or to change some things up about your own life. But other than that, I really see you guys feeling mostly stable in terms of health because you are listening and embracing other ways of communicating with yourself. You're not just going off of the number on the scale, for instance, or the results from a doctor. You are being more so intuitively led this month. And that's another thing too. If you guys receive medical advice that you don't necessarily agree with, listen to your intuition and get a second, third, fourth, fifth opinion if you have to. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out this card here. So it'll be showing me the energy surrounding your love life and relationships. So this could be your love life, your romantic life, your platonic life, your family relationships, things like that. So let's take a look. And we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, Libra, you're doing the Libra thing this November going into December where you can't make a decision because you are considering literally every option. At least some of you are anyways. This card for me, I'm actually picking up as signs more so. There's all these little signs you've been noticing in your relationships lately. You've been highly intuitive lately, very King of Cups here, but especially this month of Scorpio season. And we just came out of your season in Libra before entering into this one. So you were extra sensitive to your surroundings at at this time of the year. But I'm seeing this as signs you're being led, directed, guided by something else other than practicality. Because again, we have the Cups card, and that's what I'm actually hearing. You're taking every sign serious at this point, and not in a way where you're going to make a move or change in your relationships just yet, but you're observing. Just like in the Seven of Cups, even in this King of Cups, the King of Cups, he's kind of looking out over the ocean. He's kind of looking out as he's sitting on this throne, but especially in the Seven of Cups as well, this person is picking, they're choosing. He's looking at his options in the Seven of Cups. He's not necessarily choosing just yet, but he's looking over his options. So he doesn't choose until the next card comes up, which is the Eight of Cups, which shows someone walking away once and for all. Or they make some sort of permanent lasting decision about what it is that they want. And that's what I'm seeing here. You are watching everyone around you, and you're not being loud about your discoveries or what you pick up on. You're just observing, sitting back, collecting info and observing. So with your relationships this month, whether they are romantic, platonic, whatever, I don't see you being very verbal or expressive even. I just see you making these little mental notes about who's doing what and what you want to deal with or not deal with moving forward. It's like you're creating these boundaries that are invisible for the time being, because the people in your life aren't even aware that you're doing this, but you are silently creating an environment with people that's going to feel good to you, whatever that may mean to you specifically, to you personally in your own life. You may need more love or support or communication or trust in your life. And so you're sitting back and watching to see who actually reflects what it is that you need, what it is that you're looking for, how it is that people move. So another thing I'm seeing for some of you is you're deciding if you should also leave a relationship or not. For some of you, you're deciding if you can see a future, if it's going to work or not. And it's like every little thing this person does, you're marking it as either a pro or a con, as this is something I can deal with versus this is something I won't deal with. And this person doesn't even know it, but you are making options for yourself. Basically, you are creating options for yourself where you're like, you know what, if this situation doesn't work, well, I've got other options, I've got other choices. And not to say that you have anybody waiting, in the wings or anything like that. I don't want you guys to ever take these readings literal, as we are dealing with energy. So everything is very figurative here. So it's not to say that you may, like, let's just say, for example, you are in a relationship and it's not going so great. You're actually contemplating maybe even leaving that relationship. So this is not to say that other person, there's another person like kind of waiting in the background that you're going to leave this relationship for and jump into another one. No, I'm just saying that there could be other options outside of that. Like, your other option could be, we need to have a conversation. We need to have a serious talk. I need to really lay down some ground rules or some boundaries or something and let you know I'm not getting what it is that I feel I deserve or need. Or maybe your other option is to just be done. Or maybe your other option is to spice things up in your relationship. There's another option out here. So it's not necessarily to say it's another person. It could be, but it could also be a plethora of other things. Okay, so let's go on ahead and move on to this card here. This will be showing me the energy surrounding your finances, your career, professional life, school life, things like that. So let's go on ahead and take a look. And we have here the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, so this is where your stubbornness is coming in this month, Libra. Now, this is either you or the situation that you're dealing with. But for me, what I'm seeing is you keep trying to force something to work so much to the point that it's awkward, it's uncomfortable, it's unyielding and inconvenient, it's rigid. It's just like, let this go. Just let it go. As you can see here in the Hanged Man, let me just hold it up. When it's upright, he looks a little more normal, I guess you could say, for a person that's being hung by their foot. But when it's in reverse like this, he just looks awkward and out of place and uncomfortable. And he'd rather sacrifice his comfort than to give in and just let go. That's the crazy part. He's so stubbornly holding on to something that it just doesn't make sense in his life anymore. And he's so stubbornly holding on to it that he is choosing to just look weird. He's choosing to have something in his life that doesn't add up. And so it would make anyone question who's on the outside looking in, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you putting yourself through this? And that's what I want to know from you guys, from my Libras watching, whether you're cross watching or not. But that's what I want to know from you guys is, why are you staying so attached to a situation that's so uncomfortable for you? This card is about stubbornness, but I'm feeling like the focus here should be on your comfort. Like this isn't working for you. You know it. The situation knows it. But here we are not letting go yet again. And like I was saying, this could be you holding on to something, or this could be the situation that's being very stubborn and you're kind of forced to deal with it. Well, we're not forced to do anything, but you know what I mean. You may feel obliged to deal with whatever circumstances is surrounding your work, finances, school, career. And honestly, when it comes to our finances and our work, that is the one area in our life where we really put up with some shit, because it's like, I got to feed my family. I got to take care of my responsibilities. I got to pay my bills. I have to live. I have to eat. So it's like, our tolerance is a little higher when it comes to providing for ourselves, because we have to provide, we have to eat, we have to live. So, honestly, when it comes to this sort of area in our life, we are a little more tolerable of certain things that we probably shouldn't be. And we overlook a lot of things that we probably shouldn't, but that's because we're not trying to risk our livelihood. We're not trying to be out on the street. We're trying to take care of our responsibilities, especially if you have a family, especially if you have someone else in your life that's depending on you. It's not that we're never necessarily forced to deal with anything, but you do feel more obliged to deal with things like that when it's surrounding your livelihood. And so it's interesting because you are open to considering other options with the Seven of Cups when it comes to your relationships, but when it comes to your finances or work, you feel a little more stuck. And that's what I'm picking up this November to December. I'm seeing you starting to feel that discomfort sort of settling in. It's like he can only hold this pose here for so long. He can only stay like this for so long before he has to surrender or come off it. There's nothing else he can do because there's a constant denominator here that will not budge. Like I said, it's either you or the situation, but I see you eventually saying, okay, I'm uncomfortable and something has to give. All right. And moving on here, let's go ahead and check out this card. This card is representing the challenging energy that you may face for this month of November going into December. And we have here the Three of Pentacles. So I see this as advice or taking someone else's opinions. That's where I see this challenge this month, because you are a very independent thinker, Libra. You don't want your thoughts, decisions, actions, and choices influenced by anyone or anything. And that's not to say that you don't take in other perspectives, because you definitely do. That's why you are a Libra and your sign is the scales. You take in every point of view. But the amazing thing about my Libras, the superpowers that you guys possess, is the fact that you can take in all of these other sides and points of view and still remain pure and independent like an individual and basically unadulterated in your own view of things. That's amazing. But I'm seeing here the issue this month going into December is feeling like you don't want to consider any outside noise. Another issue that I'm seeing here is people offering their unsolicited advice. Those people where you don't ask them what they think about anything, but they say it and make sure that you hear it anyways. I see that being a potential issue as well. But you guys are very good at kind of dealing with that sort of energy. You guys are the diplomat of the zodiac. You're very diplomatic. So that could be a potential issue. People not knowing their place or overstepping their boundaries with you, doing more than what it is that you asked for of them. And so you might have to kind of put people in their place, or I really don't even see that. I just see you kind of sitting back, and even if somebody is saying something that you completely don't agree with, for my Libras this month, I'm really seeing you guys just go, yep, okay, whatever. And just not even honestly entertaining it. Like I just see you kind of like allowing it to go in one ear and out the other, just kind of roll off your back and just kind of like, yeah, I'm hearing you, but I mean, it's not something that I'm going to take on. So I don't even need to entertain this. I don't even need to be bothered by it, because either which way, you can be bothered if you want to, but I'm not going to be. So it's like, you can say whatever it is that you want. You can do whatever it is that you want. At the end of the day, it's not going to affect me. So you guys have this very detached sort of energy this month, which I think is amazing. I think many of us should be aiming for this type of energy, honestly. So that is the one challenge there, is maybe you kind of not reacting or responding to that type of energy. But I see many of you being able to really body that in a way where it's just like, oh yeah, that you're not going to bother me. I've got way bigger goals that I'm trying to reach. I got way bigger giants to take down than you and your opinions, basically. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this card here. This is going to be showing me the blessing or fortunate energy that you may deal with for this month of November. And we have here strength in reverse. So when this card is upright, the Strength card, there's a healthy balance between beast and man, or lion, and this little innocent woman here. There's a balance between our instincts and our logic. So I'm seeing the blessing here is you being more domesticated or more instinctive this month. There's not going to be much balance here. Instead, it's like some days you might be ready to chew someone up and spit them out, or be impulsive and make whatever decision you want to make. And other days you're going to be more Seven of Cups here, where it's like, I'm just going to observe. I'm just more observant, more reserved and quiet, and not really taking a stance either which way. But that's because you don't want to show your hand yet. Like I was saying, you're just going to kind of allow these things to go in one ear and out the other. Meanwhile, you know what it is that you want to do. Meanwhile, you know what it is that you're going to do, but you're just kind of just going along with other people. And it's not that you're doing it to be sneaky or fake, but you're doing it in a way where it's like, I don't even feel like arguing with you about this, because you literally have no sort of weight when it comes to the decisions that I make about my life. So you can say what it is that you want to say. I see you coming from that sort of standpoint here. And so I see you keeping a lot to yourself this month, because like I said, you're just sitting back collecting data so you can make that move or decision later on. All right, so let's go on ahead and get to you guys' oracle cards here to see what it is that your guides have to say, because that's what I set the intention for with these oracle cards, is to pull a message from your guides basically. So let's go on ahead and see what they got to say. All right, and the very first card that we have here is the Serpent. A sly and subtle approach is needed. You guys, what was I just talking about? You guys just, all right, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that in a second. Surrender, paradox, grace, blessing, come to me to set me free. And good cheer, with kind heart and humor free, may good cheer rule, so mote it be. Okay, so starting off with good cheer, this is what I see you focused on trying to get to. Just a good, peaceful, happy place. And you're trying to figure out how to get there, given the present circumstances that you have to currently deal with. You're trying to figure out, how can I be happy with these conditions, dealing with these conditions? Or how can I work around these conditions to get to that happy place? Or what about them needs to change or go so I can get to this place of good cheer? This is your number one priority, because like I said, you are sick of being uncomfortable, the Hangman in reverse, or you're getting to that point where you're like, okay, you know what, the discomfort is getting to me. Eventually I got to set that leg down, or I got to like put my arms, I have to do something to bring in some sort of comfort. And discomfort is an amazing thing. It's an amazing catalyst and breeder of change. Sometimes our best moments and our greatest moments are born in these states of discomfort and inconvenience and awkwardness. And so, that's why sometimes when it's like we're going through a difficult time, that's why sometimes you just want to embrace it instead of trying to rush through it, because you never know what it is that the universe is working on. Just like a diamond is formed from coal, that pressure gets to that coal so much that eventually just changes. It just forms into a diamond. It literally forms into a diamond, a lump of coal, right? So, that's what I'm kind of seeing here. Is like where it's like you're getting this pressure, and this part of you, this ethereal, this almost angelic, like not angelic, like, but it's like this more higher version of yourself. This more in tune version of yourself, this stronger, more powerful version of yourself is going to be birthed from this discomfort. The version of you that you're always striving for and reaching for is going to be birthed from this discomfort that it is that you're facing. Moving on to paradox here. Yeah, this feels a lot like the Strength card and this Seven of Cups, where you're swinging between these options, going back and forth, taking in every sign and every little indicator. But you are going back and forth so you can observe this side and that side, so you can perceive this person and that person. You are collecting this info to see what will support this vision that you have for a good life, like the good cheer card. Moving on to the Serpent, I told you guys that you are moving silently this November and into December. You are keeping these findings and data collections to yourself, and it's not even conscious for many of you, honestly. So many of you don't even know that this is what you're doing, because it's not a conscious thing where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this to myself. For some of you it might be, but I'm not really picking that up. I'm picking it up for most of you that it's just kind of instinctual. It's just kind of instinctive, where it's just like, I don't feel like sharing this with anyone. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. It's not like a conscious thing though. And so many of you don't even know that this is what you're doing, but you are snaking your way through this thing, and not in a bad way, where people have given snakes such a horrible complex. These are highly intelligent, beautiful creatures that move quietly, and not because they're trying to trick you, but because that's how they survive. Some people see privacy and silence as suspicious and untrustworthy, when in reality, I think that those are some of the most trustworthy people, in my opinion. Opinions are subjective, but I never understood how someone having loose lips and talking about everything from their own personal life to other people's lives could be considered as trustworthy. Like, just because you're willing to divulge all this information, that makes you trustworthy. If anything, to me, that makes you a little untrustworthy. That makes you a little shaky, in my opinion, because it's like you don't even know how to keep your mouth shut. So, obviously you might even tell my business if I were to tell you anything, but that's just how I move personally. Me personally, I'm a life past 7. I'm a very private person. I appreciate my privacy, but some people see that as untrustworthy when you're not willing to share, when you're not willing to talk about all these different things that's going on in your life, when you're not willing to just lay it all out on the table. And I find that crazy, but some people see it that way. And you are moving quietly, and some people may have issues with it, like what I kind of saw in this 3 of Pentacles down here. But you're doing this because you have a vision. You are prioritizing yourself and your happiness. You are doing this for a state of survival, because I believe that many of you have been kind of involved in a certain energy or cycle, maybe the last few months or last few years of your life, where it's like, okay, you know what? I realize now that the way that I was handling things, the way that I was dealing with my relationships, the way that I was maybe talking to people about my personal business, maybe I wasn't respecting my own privacy. Maybe I wasn't respecting my own sacredness. Maybe I was divulging too much to people. Maybe I was saying or telling too much. And I feel like many of you have come to this place where you've kind of learned that to keep things to yourself is sometimes a good thing. Sometimes it really honors and protects you, because then all these other people with with their own agendas and motives, then they can't necessarily touch you because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what to target. They don't know what to look for, And I feel like many of you have kind of learned, like, yeah, I'm just going to kind of keep it a little quiet. I don't need to do too much. And I think that's an amazing thing. So, you're doing this for your survival, because you know what it's like to say certain things and have other people repeat things that you don't want them to repeat, or they repeat it in a way where it's not true to what it is that has gone on in your life, or the story that it is that you've told. It's just ended you up in certain situations that were completely unnecessary and draining for your energy. And you're not here for that. You're trying to live a life where you are peaceful. That's what I'm getting from good cheer. Like, good cheer looks like a good time, but it's like, I'm just getting peace. Like, so many of you just want peace. That's it. Okay, and moving on to surrender. This is so talking about the Hanged Man in reverse here. This is all about giving in, letting go, accepting, and not fighting what is. Sometimes we are required to fight. Other times we are instructed or led to allow. Wisdom is knowing the difference about when to use action versus inaction. And using either of those techniques at the wrong time can lead to challenges and setbacks. You are moving more quiet to come to a place where you can surrender to one option, like the 7 of Cups. I was talking about him earlier, and how the card after him is the 8 of Cups. Someone that has chosen to, or maybe was forced to walk away, to sacrifice something. Like this Hanged Man, you have to sacrifice sometimes, but when you do sacrifice, and when it's appropriate for you to make those sacrifices, when it's appropriate for you to relinquish, that's when you blossom, just like this tree. The situation grows because it's no longer being held back by resistance. Sometimes we are in our own way. And moving on to the last card here, Grace. That's how I saw you this entire reading, honestly. I was saying it earlier. That's how I saw you this entire reading, honestly, was just chill, laid back, and unbothered, because you are observing. You're not pressed to act or do or make decisions or to respond right now. You're listening to that intuition, King of Cups. When we listen to our intuition, we have to go quiet, because our intuition is not loud. It's not going to force you to listen. It's going to offer you answers, clarity, guidance, support, strength, and love. But it's up to us if we want to accept it. It's up to us if we want to get quiet enough to hear. So when you are listening to your intuition, you can't be loud at the same time. You can't be doing the most at the same time. It is one or the other. And I'm seeing many of you surrender to your intuition. And so you're doing it quietly. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, people don't know that you're doing this. You might not even be aware of it. It may come off sneaky or snake-like to some, but this is wisdom that you're using. That's what this is. And if someone in your life can't see that or understand that or appreciate it, or is accusing you of being a snake or is suspecting you of that, I'm going to leave you with this quote that my grandmother used to say all the time. And that's, if someone is suspicious of you, it's because they themselves are suspect. They're picking up on their own energy and not even realizing it because they are so unaware. They are projecting, but you carry yourself with grace and don't even be bothered by if they agree with how you are running your own life. How you run your own life is up to you. And that's that. At the end of the day, this is, you make yourself a priority. You make your peace a priority because peace is priceless. Okay. So this is all that I'm saying for my Libras. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. Don't forget to check out your moon, rising, and Venus sign videos if you have not already. They are all linked down below. I want to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and beautiful spirit itself for delivering such a beautiful message today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back later. All right. Bye, guys.